Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All my dear students of class 8th, I hope you have understood the concept of the atom, what are its subparticles and what is atomic number, mass number and atomic mass. So it's much clear to you. By now it must be very clear to you what is the structure of an atom, where are the protons and neutrons situated, and what is the charge that is present on the in the nucleus, and what is the overall charge that is present in the atom, that is, it is electrically neutral. Then I also told you the electrons revolve around the nucleus in well defined orbits, which are even known as the energy levels, that is the well defined paths which are known as the energy levels. Is that clear? Or orbits. And I told you that shell which is nearest to the nucleus has minimum energy, while the electrons which are rotating around the nucleus in shell number 1 has the minimum energy, and the electrons which are revolving farthest away from the nucleus have the maximum energy. That is, in this diagram, K shell has the minimum energy, electrons in the K shell have the minimum energy, while the electrons in the N shell has the maximum energy. So today I will take up the electronic configuration, that is the arrangement. How are these electrons arranged in these orbits? What is the distribution of these electrons? How they are distributed in the various orbits? We will discuss this today. So we will discuss the arrangement of electrons around the nucleus of an atom, and this is referred to as the electronic configuration. So the distribution of electrons in different energy levels or shells in the order of increasing energy around the nucleus of an atom is called as the electronic configuration. So this is what we are going to study today. So the distribution of electrons in different orbits or shell is governed by a scheme which is known as the Bohr-Berry scheme, right? Bohr-Berry scheme. And the arrangement of electrons in various energy levels of an atom is known as the electronic configuration. This I have told you just now. This is the electronic configuration. The definition of electronic configuration, that is the arrangement of electron in various energy levels of an atom or in various orbits of an atom, is known as the electronic configuration of an atom. Is it clear? And we have discussed the electrons first occupy the shell with the lowest energy, that is the shell which is closest to the nucleus. So the orbit that is nearest to the nucleus is called the first orbit, and then later on the corresponding orbits with the energy which keeps on increasing with increase in each orbit or each energy level. Now this scheme, that is the Bohr-Berry scheme, it gives the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell of an atom. Now you can, if you have an atom which has, for instance, the one which is shown in figure 4.10, how many orbits or how many shells is it showing? It is showing, you can see it is showing 4 shells. So in those 4 shells, all the 4 shells will not carry equal number of electrons. Is that clear? So this particular scheme, that is Bohr-Berry scheme, gives what? The idea about how many electrons can be accommodated in a shell of an atom. So there are various rules in Bohr-Berry scheme, and that those rules are as follows. So the maximum number of electrons that can be present in a shell is given by the formula 2n square. The formula for determining the maximum number of electrons in a shell is 2n square, when n represents the shell number or the number of that particular orbit. Is that clear? For instance, for this you need to explain, you need to understand the structure of the atom clearly. Now you can see that this shell, that is this atom has how many shells? As given in your book also, it is carrying 4 energy level of 4 orbits. So it is shell number 1 is shell n is equal to 1, shell number 2 n is equal to 2, shell number 3 n is equal to 3, and so on. So the energy of the electrons that will be present will be in the increasing order from shell number 1 to shell number 4. Is it clear? And the number of maximum electrons that can be accommodated in a particular shell, I have told you, will be denoted by the formula 2n square. How do we calculate? Now you can see in this figure that how many maximum electrons a particular shell can accommodate. This, how can we calculate this? Have a look into this table. So before showing you the table, let's first see. Now you can see that the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell is given by 2n square, which I have told you just now, where n is equal to shell number for first energy level, that is the first orbit that is present around the nucleus of an atom. The maximum number of first energy level electrons will be how many? 2, n you put as 1, that is 2 into n is what? The number of the shell, 1, the first shell, and square is equal to how many? It will be 2 only. So a maximum of 2 electrons can fit in the first shell. It can be 1, it cannot be more than 2. The maximum number is 2 only. Is it clear? Then considering the shell number 2, that is the L shell, so you put on place of L you put 2, on N, on the place of it is 2n square. 2n square, you can see this is n is equal to, here how much is n? It is 2. Is it clear? This is 2. I will write it a little more clearly. So and this is square. So 2 square is how many? 2 4s are 8. 2 square is 4. 2 into 4 becomes 8. So here this is 8. The maximum number of electrons that can fit in the second energy level or the second shell is 8. It can be 7, it can be 6, it can be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but it can never be 9, 10, 11 and so on. Is it clear? Then similarly we take shell number 3, that is energy level n is equal to 3, maximum number of electrons that will fit in. You can calculate it yourself. That is, you can see this, 3 square is 9, so 2 9s are 18. The maximum number of electrons that can fit in the third shell is 18, not more than that. So this is how you will calculate the maximum number of electrons in a particular shell. The maximum number will be the amount from which the number of electrons cannot exceed in that particular energy level. For example, when you are considering shell number 1, it can never be more than 2, it can be 1 or 2, not more than that. In shell number 2, it will be, I have told you, it can be 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and never 9, 10 and so on. It can never be more than 8. And similarly for shell number 3 and 4, it can be 18, 17, 16 till 1, but it cannot be 19, 20 and so on. So it can, this number cannot be exceeded in any shell. This is the maximum number of electrons that can fit into a particular shell. Is it clear? So this table also showing the same. So here this table is also showing, that is the shell K, L, M, N, and quantum number is the number of shell, that is the shell number N, or this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So the maximum number of electron according to the formula 2n square, this formula is 2 in the first shell, 8 in the second one, 18 in the third one, and 32 and so on in the rest of the shells. Is it clear? So this is the first rule of Bohr-Berry scheme, that is maximum number of electrons that can be present in a shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the shell number. So in continuation with this only, that is the outermost shell of an atom. This is the outermost shell of this atom, and then here also this is the outermost shell of this atom, that is shell n, K, L, M, and n is equal to 4. Now the last shell or the outermost shell of an atom cannot accommodate more than 8 electrons. It can never be 8 even when it has the capacity to accommodate more electrons. That means fourth shell has the capacity to accommodate how many electrons? 32. But if it is the last shell, it will not accommodate more than 8 electrons, and this is known as the octet rule. Octa means 8. Similarly, when the outermost shell of an atom is the first shell or K shell, it is the only shell also, and it is the last shell also. For example, you have helium, or you have hydrogen, lithium is 3, right? So, or helium, how many electrons are present? Only 2 electrons are present. It has an atomic number. So that outermost shell of an atom is the first shell or K shell. For instance, I will show it to you just now. So that shell, it cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons, and this is known as the duplet rule. Is that clear? This is the duplet rule. So the outermost shell, if the outermost shell is the first shell, that is in smaller atoms where the atomic number is 2, 1 or 2, then that shell K shell is the outermost shell also. In that case, it cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons. It will always be 2. So this is known as the duet rule or the duplet rule. Is it clear? This is the duplet rule that is given in your books also. This is the duplet rule and this is the octet rule. Then rule number 3, that electrons do not enter in a new shell unless the inner shells are completely filled. So we know in shell n is equal to 1, that is shell number 1. How many electrons can accommodate? 2. Then shell number 2, n is equal to 2. How many electrons can accommodate? It is 8. For instance, if there is an atom whose atomic number is say 11, how will we write the electronic configuration? How will we write? In the first shell it will be 2, in the second shell it will be 8. 2 plus 8 is what? 2 plus 8 is 10. How many electrons are left to be accommodated? Only 1. So that will enter the third shell. So it will never be like 2 electrons in the first shell and 7 in the second shell and 2 in the third one. No, this is wrong. First, the maximum number of electrons that can fit in the first shell, then in the second shell, and then the leftover electrons will enter the next shell. Is it clear? That is 1 in the third orbit. So this is rule number 3. So you must have understood that atoms can follow one of the 2 rules, that is the octet rules, that atoms attempt to obtain 8 valence electrons. Valence electrons means the electrons which are present in the outermost shell, and this includes most of the atoms. Then duet rule or the duplet rule. Atoms attempt to obtain 2 valence electrons. 2 valence electrons includes hydrogen, lithium and beryllium. Is it clear? These rules are followed in order to attain stability, right? To make an atom stable. Otherwise it cannot exist in the form it is existing. Is it clear? Then for understanding the Bohr-Berry scheme of electronic configuration, let's look into these examples. Now, helium, it has an atomic number of 2. Now, how do we represent it? We have already studied how do we represent it. We write it like this. The atomic or mass number is written over here and the atomic number is written here. Mass number denotes what? The number of neutrons and protons. What are we concerned with just now? With the electrons. Atomic number denotes number of protons. Protons is equal to number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. That means the number of electrons is 2. So we are studying the distribution of electron in different energy levels or shells, isn't it? So how are these 2 electrons arranged? Now helium contains 2 electrons. You can see in this figure it is containing 2 electrons. And where are the protons and neutrons located? In this nucleus. This blue part that you can see is the nucleus. So you can even write 2 neutron is equal to 2 and proton is equal to 2 over here inside this nucleus. So but right now we are just concerned about the arrangement of the electrons. So we know this is K shell. So how many, that means n is equal to how much over here? It is 1. That is shell number 1. That is the K shell. How many maximum electrons can it accommodate? And remembering the formula, 2n square. How many? 2 into 1 square, that is equal to how much? It is equal to 2. So we know helium is just containing 2 electrons. So those 2 electrons are accommodated in the K shell, that is one over here and the other over here. So electronic configuration of helium is 2. We just write true. Electronic configuration is 2. Similarly for the next example, that is carbon. Now carbon, its atomic number is 6. How do we represent it? Write it on the same side. Even we can write it like this also on the 2 sides, or we can just represent it as 12 and 6. That is the mass number and this is the atomic number. So atomic number 6 means what? What does it signify? That is number of electron is 6. So how will we write the electronic configuration? Now here the number of protons and neutrons also given. That is this, if number of electrons is 6, then the number of neutrons will also be 6. So this is the nucleus of the atom that has been shown over here, and the protons and neutrons have been marked over here. Is it clear? So we have 6 electrons. So we know that in shell number, this is having how many shells? This is K shell, that is n is equal to 1, shell number 1, and this is L shell, that is n is equal to 2. So we know in shell number 1 how many maximum electrons can accommodate. That is, in this shell it can be 2 and in this shell maximum of 8. Is it clear? Now for carbon we have 6 electrons. We have 6 electron I have shown you just now. So in the first shell how many can accommodate? You have seen this 2, 1 and 2. So in first shell it will be how many? 2. And in the second shell, how many? Now 6 minus 2, how many are left? 4 are left. So those 4 will come in the second shell, that is shell number 2, that is L shell. So it will be 4. How will you write the electronic configuration of carbon? It will be 2 and 4. This is the atomic structure. Is it clear? So 2 and 4 is the electronic configuration of carbon. Similarly, we have for helium, beryllium. Helium I have shown just now. Beryllium is 4. Over here, if you want to show in this only, the beryllium is 4. That means how will you distribute those 4? 2 in the first shell and second over here. So you can rub it off and I will show it to you. Beryllium, it is 4. Atomic number is 4. How will you represent the number of electrons? Now if it is K shell, L, M and N. 4, 2 in the first shell. How many are left? 2 in the second shell. Is it clear? Carbon I have shown you just now, 2 and 4. Now for oxygen, that is 8, atomic number 8. 2 in the first shell and how many are left? 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 in the second shell. So this is how you write the electronic configuration. So when you write the electronic configuration, you mention it as 2 and 6. Is it very clear to you now? So you can practice this with other atoms.